I'm coming. Deion Sanders breaks silence with a cryptic update as NFL coach sparks personal storm. For nearly 2 months, the silence was deafening. Colorado Buffalo's head coach Deion Sanders, the iconic Coach Prime, had gone dark. No cameras, no media appearances, no viral videos, no prime speeches. For a man whose aura commands every room he enters, his absence was impossible to ignore. But just when the noise was starting to sound like concern, he dropped two words that sent shockwaves through the college football universe. I'm coming. Just like that, Deion Sanders was back, or at least on his way. But this isn't just a story about an Instagram story. It's a tale about health battles, media doubt, family transitions, and one NFL coach's bold challenge that put Sanders in the crosshairs during the most delicate chapter of his personal and professional life. Let's rewind the clock and unpack what led to this moment, why it matters more than ever, and how it sets up one of the most emotionally charged seasons in Coach Prime's storied football life. A quiet disappearance, a lingering mystery. Everything seemed to be going right for Deion Sanders, at least on paper. In March 2025, Sanders inked a lucrative 5-year, $54 million extension with the University of Colorado. It was a massive statement from a university ready to build an empire around him. After all, Prime had turned a struggling Buffalo's program into a 9-win sensation, captivated the nation, and put Colorado football back on the national radar. But as the spring faded into summer, something unexpected happened. Coach Prime disappeared. No public appearances, no tweets, no sound bites. Even Sanders' ever-active YouTube channel, usually run by his son Deion Sanders Jr., featured old footage and soft updates. Whispers about his health began to grow louder. Then came the confirmation. On May 30th, during a rare live stream with former NFL cornerback Asani Samuel, Sanders gave fans the update they didn't know they needed and feared to hear. I ain't been in front of nobody for a minute. I lost about 14 pounds, he revealed. I'm coming back, but I needed this. I needed this exchange of energy because I haven't had the energy. The word stung. Here was a man known for unmatched confidence and kinetic energy, openly admitting he was drained. But what was the cause? The public still doesn't know for sure. Reports only refer to unspecified health issues. But this much is clear. It was serious enough for Sanders to skip multiple high-profile events, including Colorado's summer football camps and a June 8th keynote speech at the Foundation for Sickle Cell Disease Research. USA Today's Brent Schottenborg confirmed on June 9th that Sanders had secluded himself at his Texas estate. The mood? Somber. The tone? Mysterious. For fans and followers, one thing became abundantly clear. Coach Prime was in a fight, not against a football opponent, but against time, recovery, and the whispers of vulnerability. The cryptic comeback, I'm coming. Then, just as the concern reached its peak, came the message that changed everything. On July 5th, Deion Sanders posted an Instagram story that ignited Buff Nation. It wasn't a long-winded speech. It wasn't a comeback video. It was a simple image, a quiet, tree-lined road stretching into the horizon, with two hauntingly hopeful words placed gently on top. I'm coming. 2 words. That's it. But for those who followed Sanders' journey, that message wasn't just an update. It was a promise. A promise that Coach Prime was on the mend. A promise that he wasn't done. A promise that the silence was temporary. And more importantly, it was a warning to doubters that the storm had passed and the thunder was on its way. A return to the spotlight? Sanders' cryptic message landed just days before the Big 12 preseason media days scheduled to kick off at the Dallas Cowboys headquarters in Frisco, Texas. ESPN is set to broadcast the event, with Buff stars like Julian Lewis, Kaidon Salter, Jordan Seaton, Alejandro Mata, and DJ McKinney expected to attend. Now all eyes are on Frisco. Will Deion Sanders make his first public appearance since the health scare? Will this be the moment I'm coming transforms into I'm back? His return would send a massive statement, not just to fans, but to critics who've questioned his motives, his commitment, and even his legacy. And just when you thought the narrative was starting to settle, along came a powerful voice from the NFL to stir things up even more. Deshaun Watson's QB coach sparks firestorm. If there's one truth in sports media, it's this. When Deion Sanders is quiet, someone will speak for him or against him. This time, it was Quincy Avery, private quarterback coach for NFL QB Deshaun Watson. In a brutally honest take on the Maggie and Perloff show, Avery posed the question many had quietly wondered but never dared to say aloud. Was he doing this the whole time to prop his son up and help him become this top-tier quarterback, which he did help him do? Or does he want to do this because he really cares about the kids? In one breath, Avery cast doubt on Deion's entire coaching career, from Jackson State to Colorado, framing it as a father's vanity project rather than a selfless mission to elevate young athletes. The reason I have such a difficult time with Deion is because so many of the things he does, it's about him rather than other people, Avery continued. So we get to see who he is as a person when he has to take on this team without his sons involved. Harsh words. And they cut deeper than most criticisms because, for the first time in years, Deion Sanders will be coaching without Shedeur Sanders under center or Shiloh patrolling the defensive backfield. With Travis Hunter also gone to the NFL, Coach Prime will now lead a locker room with no family, no safety net, just raw talent and expectations. A coach at a crossroads, Coach Prime has never run from adversity. In fact, he's built his career on confronting it head-on and turning it into fuel. Remember, this is a man who played in both the NFL and MLB at the elite level, won 2 Super Bowl rings, coached in HBCU, Jackson State, into national prominence, lost 2 toes due to blood clots, and kept coaching, transformed a 1-win Colorado team into national darlings in a single season. If history tells us anything, it's that Deion Sanders doesn't fold under pressure. He redefines it. But this time, the stakes are different. There's no family on the field, no sons to protect, no built-in support systems. Just Prime and the program he built from dust. And now he's being asked, no, challenged, to prove that the magic wasn't just about family, fame, or flash, that it was about football, that it was about mentorship, that it was about legacy. The Prime blueprint, built for the moment. Despite the criticism, Deion Sanders has laid the foundation for one of the most intriguing seasons in college football. With the Big 12 landscape shifting and Colorado emerging as a recruiting hotbed, this could be the year the Buffaloes go from a good story to a great program. Quarterback Julian Lewis, a freshman sensation, is expected to light up the field. Kaidon Salter brings elite-level speed and leadership. And Coach Prime has surrounded himself with top-tier assistant coaches, analysts, and strength trainers. But none of it works if the leader isn't there. That's why I'm coming hit so hard. It's not just a health update. It's a battle cry, a mission reset. And make no mistake, Prime knows what's being said about him. He's heard the chatter. And the comeback, whenever it comes, will carry that unmistakable edge of "I told you so." Final thoughts. A man, a message, a moment. In the end, Deion Sanders' 2-word message wasn't just for his fans. It was for his players, his doubters, his critics, and perhaps even for himself. I'm coming. Not maybe. Not we'll see. Not thinking about it. No hesitation. Just declaration. It's the kind of message that's less about the present and more about what's about to happen next. Colorado opens its season on August 29th against Georgia Tech. And when the lights come on and the national spotlight returns, expect one man to walk out of the tunnel, not just as a coach, not just as a father, but as a fighter. Deion Sanders is coming, and the college football world better be ready.